Stop. Do not buy anything for your child when they go to secondary school until you have listened to this video all the way through, for I'm going to share with you the absolute essentials you need to pack for your child before they start secondary school, so you don't waste money on anything stupid. Hello, my name is Tamsin and I run the website theonlychildclub.net, and I'm dedicated to supporting you and your gorgeous one-child family, helping you all to grow, flourish and live life to the full. Now you may be wondering, hey, who is this Tamsin and why is she telling me what I should be packing in my child's school bag before they go to school? Well, the reason I feel quite qualified to share with you, and I'm here to help you so you really know what to pack and what to buy for your child, is because I have a child who is already going into year 11 now. They have done 4 years at secondary school, and we have learnt the things that they actually do need to take into school and what she doesn't need to take into school. So the stuff I'm going to be sharing with you is based on experience of that. The other thing I have experience on is I have been working in secondary schools for the past 10 years. I've been working as an LSA, as an academic mentor, and a cover teacher. And by doing that, I have picked up and learned the things that have been very useful for students that they really should have and they don't have. And I've also noticed things that they do have and they probably shouldn't have. So that's why I'm going to share with you this information that's going to be very, very useful to you. I'm not going to really talk too much about what you need to pack for your child for primary school because it's very basic, but I'll cover that really briefly, but it's not too much. This is mostly about secondary school because primary schools are very good at providing pretty much everything your child needs anyway. So I'll just tell you very briefly, if you're sending your child to primary school for the first time or any stage of their primary school career, there's some things that I will advise that they take into school with them. So let's start. The very first thing I'm going to recommend is this sweet little thing, a water bottle. Make sure it's it's a good water bottle with a lid like this, okay? Don't have any lids where you open it and close it, or straws. It's because they can be difficult to clean, especially if you put squash in them, and also they leak a lot, whereas I've never had problems with leaks from these kind of metal bottles. Now, if there is anything that you want a list or something, there is a back to school essentials list blog post that I have written, and I'm going to put that in the description below, so you can go onto that, and I recommend all sorts of products that is going to be helpful to you and to your child. The other thing that you might want to pack is a lunch bag. Now you can go for lunch box or lunch bag. I have recommended 2 of them in another blog post, which is lunchbox ideas, and I'm going to put that in the description below as well. So throughout the academic year, if you're sick of packing the same ham sandwiches, the same sort of food every single day, you want a bit of variety, there is a lunchbox ideas post that you can go on to and have a look at that. So I'll put that in the description below. There's a few recommendations of lunch boxes. I personally think the lunch bag is a better idea. You can always buy a little sandwich box to put in there, but the lunch bag seems to be able to fit everything in, whereas a lunch box tends to be divided into sections and you can't always squeeze everything in. I've got a lunch box, Sop's got a lunch bag, and the lunch bag seems a better option. Just a little tip there. So the next thing that you need to make sure your child has is obviously the pencil case. Okay, now this is a bit old and grubby now. She's had it for quite a while. This is a really good pencil case. It's got little sections and you can put things in. And these are the things that you really should put in your child's pencil case. You're buying all the new stuff. It's really exciting, but these are things they actually need when they go to secondary school. They need a ruler. Okay, it's 100%, and I can't tell you the amount of students when I'm teaching and they're like, "Oh, Miss, can I have a ruler, please?" Why do they have a ruler? I swear to you, most of the time they break it. They break it in front of you, and then they're, "Miss, I broke my ruler." What's that about? They do the same with pens. They're very destructive. So make sure you get a good, sturdy, strong, ideally metal wooden ruler, so they're not likely to break it. I'm sorry to have to share with you that this is the sort of things students do, young people do, and maybe your child is nice and mature and wouldn't do anything like that, but I can tell you kids do that. The other thing you need to pack is highlighters. Nice little packet of highlighters. A lot of times teachers do want kids to highlight certain passages in photocopied material that they give them, so highlighters is a really good idea. Great idea for when you're in year 10 and 11 doing revision and maybe doing some mind maps, things like that. Highlighters, brilliant idea. The other thing is, I don't have it on me, she's probably got in here, is a green pen. Teachers like students to mark their own work or each other's work, and they use a green pen to see that they're doing it with a green pen, whereas obviously teachers will use different coloured pens. Obviously the black pen, not blue pens. You can use blue pens, but some teachers are really fussy with that, and you have to use a black pen when you're sitting exams. So black pen, several of these, again making sure they're really good and sturdy and not a simple biro that they can break. I can't believe I'm having to say this about secondary school students, but it's a thing. Kids, there are some kids who literally, they break up the pen, like, Miss, my pen's broken, can I have another one? It's like, you literally broke it right there. It's insane. Compass, whole geometry set is really good. SOPs does have one, I don't know where it is, but make sure you've got a geometry set. Make sure they always have their geometry set in their bag with them, because you never know when your maths teacher is going to do a pop geometry lesson. So always good to have. Talking about maths, calculator, obviously, scientific calculator, that's what they need, because they may be doing some work on their calculator in science as well as in maths. Ideally, get the calculator that your school has recommended in the list of essentials that they say you should get for your child. It's just really because it's easier for the teacher. If they know, like, that is the Casio calculator, and some of the students have got other makes of calculators, they don't necessarily know which is the right buttons to press. So it's just a little easier for the teacher, and probably be easier for your child to use the same one that the teacher uses. So just make sure you use the one that they recommend. It just makes it a lot easier. Rubber, obviously, also known as an eraser, to rub out any pencil work. Sharpener. Now this is an open sharpener, but I would recommend, especially if your child is going to year 7, year 8, well, year 7, then get a closed one that they can just sharpen at the desk, and it just stays in the closed little bucket there, because students make a mess. They'll just sharpen it in their pencil cases, and they make a mess, or then they're getting up out of the chair and using the bin, and it's a bit scatty. So for year 7s, get a closed one where it's got its own little container to collect the shavings in. Scissors, yes, absolutely, scissors, really important, but again, maturity of students here. There's students, they will just sit there randomly cutting up pieces of paper or whatever just for the fun of it, and obviously it's for teachers to, you know, take the scissors off them if they have to. So if you think your child is mature enough to have scissors, they are useful to have, because, you know, teachers may ask you to cut up a piece of paper to stick in their books. Talking of which, glue. Yeah, okay, this is a sticky one. That was a pun and I didn't even mean it. The glue thing, really important to have, because a lot of times teachers are asking your child to do extra work in, you know, pieces of paper that they hand out, and then they want them to glue it in. So it is really good and vital to have glue. Only problem is, once again, maturity level. Kids will get glue, they'll stick it up and they'll throw it up on the ceiling, stick it under. just make a blooming mess of it. Even year 10 students and year 11 students do it. I don't know why. I have to take glue off year 10 students. It's like, really? What, I can't trust you with glue and you're 14, 15, 16 years old and still can't be trusted with glue. So just be aware that there's something that kids do. So make sure your child behaves themselves properly with glue. But glue stick, very, very important to have. Pencils, obviously, several pencils is quite good, and obviously you've got your pencil sharpener. And coloured pencils, definitely have that when you have to colour in maps and use things like that. Good to have coloured pencils, especially for art, even maybe specialist pencils if your child likes doing, art as a topic. If you can, get personalised ones, because then you can put their name on them, and if any time anything gets missing, then they can find it. I highly recommend you personalise and label everything, even at secondary school level. Definitely do it at primary school level, but label most things at secondary, including uniform. There is a little bit about that in the blog post on going back to school and essentials. So just go onto those websites and go onto those blog posts and have a look and see what I mean when I'm talking about labels. And I recommend a label company to help with that. Okay, the next thing that is quite contentious a little bit, because teachers don't always say you should have them, or the students say to me that teachers say you're not allowed to have headphones, but you blooming well do need to have headphones, okay? You need these kind of headphones, okay? You can have the ones that cover your whole ear, that's fine, but these ones I would say for school are the best, where you just plug them into your ears. Not earbuds, earphones that you can connect. The reason for that is there'll be times when your child may be working in computer rooms, they may be doing something on languages, they may be doing something, some IT work, they may have to do they will have to do the GL assessments, which are English assessments to see how much they can understand. And part of the GL assessments, students need headphones to listen to the information. And what you find in schools is you do have school headphones. They're rubbish. Okay, the kids destroy them. They mess them up real quick. They get broken. There's never enough, or they're really cheap, nasty things, and they're like, those ones from the 80s where you got like just a little foam covering and it scratches your ear. You got things like that, or that you don't even have the foam covering. It's messy. Or what happens is students are like, oh, I'll go find the headphones, and they'll go running around the whole school, going to the music department to get some. Not a good thing. So make sure your child always has their own headphones. They don't have to get it out all the time, but if teachers say get out your headphones, or you need to have headphones for this, you can say, hey, I got my own. I think most teachers will be fine with that, but if the teacher's not, they say no, you have to use the school ones, then your child can use the school ones, and that's absolutely fine. So those are the main things that your child actually needs to pack in their bag. They may want to take a notebook as well. Their secondary school may give them what we used to call day books when we were at school, but you can have them as journals, and they're really good. They're packed full of information. Your student needs to make the most of it, especially if you've got one where it's got like information about measurements and geography and maps. These planners can be really good and well designed, and inside the planners maybe you have to sign it and do your parent's signature, and that's where your child can write down their homeworks, things like that. So it's really important that they'll probably be given that, but they may want their own notebook as well. And that's pretty much no, that is not everything. Personal hygiene, I forgot about that. Ideally, your child may want to have some hand wipes or some gel, again, only if they can be trusted with it, but hand gel, quite a good idea. What you find when you go to schools is you tend to pick up every single cold and cough and cold and thing going. It'd be great if your child has hand gel and some kind of deodorant body spray on them. Kids get smelly and you don't want a smelly child, so make sure that they have that. Blazers tend to make kids smell a little bit bad. I don't know, I don't think you can breathe in it. It's like a horrible polyester kind of material and it's not easy to breathe through. So kids can get a bit smelly. So have a little deodorant there or body spray, something like that for your child. Again, it's all very dependent on how mature your child is and whether they can be trusted for this. But you know, you might need to just pack them and talk to your child about behaving themselves with all these equipment. And I would say they were pretty much, on the top of my head, the main basics your child needs to have, essentials, when they go to school, okay? So it's not absolutely everything that the teachers put on the list, but those are things that are very, very useful. So before I finish, I'm gonna just do a little advertisement just to let you know that there's still a chance to enter our competition to win this little buddy. Yeah, him. This cute little panda bear. All you have to do is illustrate, well, all your child has to do is illustrate a story from the Lucy and Gabriel adventures in China. And you can find out more information if you go onto our competitions page, theonlychildclub.net/competitions. I'll put a link down below. And if you sign up for our email list, you will also get a free copy of the activity book where you will find that story of Lucy and Gabriel's adventures in China. Well, thank you ever so much for listening to me, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Toodles!